No Pete today. For some reason, he couldn't handle it. Pete tries to find an excuse not to podcast more and more. I think that I don't know what to think of that guy, but he's not here. So if you like Pete and you think he's the show, go fuck yourself and leave. Turn it off right the fuck now. All right? He's not here to interrupt and say stupid stuff and fucking correct grammar and fucking get down in the weeds on little minute details that don't give a fucking ounce of added value to any story. He's not here. So if he's your guy, leave. Shut it off. Look at your phone. There's a fucking button right there. It says to quit listening. Do it, please. I don't want you here. I'm the host of this show, Lord Stephen Bushotee. With me today is Joe Crazy Bill Watson. What are you doing, Bill? Joe, who the fuck are you? I still can't get it right. 5-6 years of knowing this guy, and I still stumble over his fucking name because he's got 2 fucking first names in his thing. For some reason, I wouldn't fuck it up if he was called Jim Bob. I'd get that every fucking time, but Joe Crazy Bill Crazy, fuck it. What's up?
How you doing, Steve?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy to be here.
I'm literally right now thinking about changing his name in my contacts to Joe Crazy Bill, because every time I go to text him, I'm like, Joe, fuck, Bill, God damn it, it's under William. What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh yeah, finding his
That's
contact.
Officer Bolles coming through right there.
Yeah. It's interesting that you know, especially after the last episode where you talked about your 12-step program.
Yeah.
That now to hear that you're watching a documentary on Scientology. Steve, are you branching out? Are you examining other religions to see if they can answer your
Scientology
questions?
Really speaks to me. It's really realistic. A little quick history here. L. Ron Hubbard started it, and he is the most published author of science fiction. Okay?
Yep.
That's true. In the Guinness Book World Records for the most published works of science fiction. Starts this religion based on aliens coming to Earth and leaving their souls that are clinging to us bodies, and there was a nuclear war and civilization that was here before us and all this stuff. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool that a science fiction writer just happened to stumble upon this information and come up with it. What a coincidence. So I'm hooked. I'm like, that's the truth. I'm born and raised Catholic. I got to get rid of these thetans, and you're an SP. You guys are suppressive personalities. I need to disassociate myself from you.
I don't think anyone would ever call me a suppressive personality.
A Scientologist would. That's what they call. That's what SPs. They got to stay away from the SPs.
Interesting stuff, huh?
Pretty fucking crazy. I mean, in a good way.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm pretty much I've been pitching it. I'm like, man, it only takes like $500,000 to get to the top level.
Huh?
Where you know all the secrets, and like the more you pay.
So is that more or less money than it would be to be what is it? Masons, the Freemasons.
I don't know anything about the Freemasons. I'll study them next week.
Okay.
Yep. Speaking of the Freemasons, Jeremy is also not here today. I gotta read this to you. I gotta read you what Kyle sent me. So glad I decided not to do the spring show. Garbage. Way too much anime. I told him, I said, dude, you do realize that's the way of the future. We are slowly.
My kids fucking hate anime.
Really?
Because they say all the kids that do it are weird.
Do they watch it?
No.
Though? Okay, so
if I'm watching anything that resembles anime, like
they're out.
What was that? Vox Machina.
Yeah. Yep.
Resembles anime.
Yep.
My kids will walk by and they'll be like, what? You watch anime, Dad? And
I've been watching anime since I was a kid.
a little bit. I've never been one of those people that watches the,
Isn't it all really anime,
Steve
though?
watches hentai. Yep.
But,
Kane has never been an anime kid, ever.
Yeah.
Just recently, a friend turned him on to one called Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
He burned through all 4 seasons of that, I think. Actually came to me and goes, Dad, I think you would like this.
Yeah.
And we sat down to watch it, and oh God, it was so bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad. You know what I struggle with? Inner monologue. There's a lot of inner monologue in those, and I don't know why, because I grew up reading comics, and that used to be a huge part of comics. You'd get the thought bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Sure.
Yep, and I don't see that as much anymore. They don't tell comics. I don't think tell the story that same way anymore.
No.
But it was always kind of like this weird, and we're sitting there, and it was weird because even Kane, I think he could tell that it was like, yeah. And I tried to be supportive, just quiet and watch. But now he's watching Attack on Titan, which is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. Mm-hmm. Now, with all that said, I don't see him acting like the kids that your kids are saying are weird. But then again, I don't know. I mean, I'm his dad, so he's really fucking weird.
I don't think so. My kids are talking about these kids at school that meow at you.
Yeah. Yep.
You're in the school, so you.
Yeah. No.
You
There's definitely a group of kids that are they
and
exemplify.
I have trained my kids from a very young age to be extremely judgmental. And one thing I really wanted them to do is be able to assess people, to be able to look at other kids, judge them, and either let them in or cast them aside. That is how I've really striven to be them. So I'm very happy when they say these kids are weird. I don't want anything to fucking do with them. I'm like, yes, I'm not for inclusion. Not anybody can be your friend.
Be picky, kids.
Yeah.
Be picky.
Be picky, be judgmental. It's been awesome. Speaking of judges, I'm pissed. Travis, with Kane as your son, I would assume you are an expert at pretending to be proud.
I don't know if I really have a proud... I don't know if that's an emotion I really possess. I'm not really proud of myself.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm arrogant. I'm definitely that. But I don't know if... I don't know. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I'm having issues. You remember I said last time here that Katie won first place at an art show?
Yeah.
Well, now she has another piece in another art show. Fucking won first place.
Dang.
First place in the whole area of the schools around here. And
is it the same piece of art?
No.
Okay.
But it's the same type.
Might be onto something.
It's the same type of art, but it's not the same piece.
So it's the art you don't consider art?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm kind of getting pissed.
Because she keeps winning?
Yeah, because I want to say what. I'm like, well, what I wonder how the real artist kids feel about this. It's kind of shitty, right? I want it. It brings back memories, brings back trauma of me going to places and actually bringing something that takes a little bit of talent to the table, and just seeing this crazy whatever it is win and get praise. And I'd be like, I could do that. I just throw some stuff, glue it on, glue some tchotchkes on, take some colors, dab it here, it there, strike it there.
So why don't you?
Because it's lame.
Then you could be a winner too.
I don't want, but that doesn't feel like winning. So my daughter's really, her art teachers are really being like, hey, maybe you should look into something.
Art schools and shit?
Yeah.
Dude, you got accepted to an art school.
I did get accepted to an art school, and I didn't take it.
You're like, I want to clean sewers.
I want to turn water off and turn water back on.
Yeah, I was like, this isn't for me. This shit's too easy. So, I mean, I love my daughter, so she comes to me and she's like, Dad, I won again. And I'm like, oh, with that piece you showed me? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, that's great. And now I got to go to this ceremony where she's going to get, because they judge it, and now there's a ceremony where she'll get her like a certificate and everything. And she's like, Dad, want to go? And I'm like, yeah, I want to go. I want to bring some real art and show them what some real shit is. Can I just take a moment here? I want to show a few things I did when I was her age. And why the fuck did this shit get passed over? I mean,
do you still have these?
I feel like I'm getting beat by my daughter. And she's doing it the same way
that those other kids
that those other fucking kids did it. And it's pissing me off. I'm in a competition against my own daughter.
And you're losing.
And I'm losing, and it's pissing me right. It is fucking... What did I do to deserve this, Xenu?
Hey, this is the travesty of Steve having daughters and not sons, because if it was a son, he'd be doing more push-ups than him or something.
He'd be so proud, too.
Yeah, beat me like a man.
You do know why she's winning.
No, I don't.
She's pretty.
Katie?
Oh, yeah, she's a pretty girl.
I thought she'd be better. When she was younger, I really had high hopes, but then... He brings something to the table that I like as far as genetics are concerned. Height.
I was going to say height.
You know,
well, he's skinny too, so.
Well, I know, but if Katie could, if they stayed together, which you know they're seniors in high school. You know, I'm not hoping that they do, and I'm not saying that they will. I don't. It's whatever happens.
Whatever happens. Yeah.
But if they were to stay together and procreate,
is that how Courtney feels?
Courtney's I think Courtney thinks she's his boy. He's her boyfriend. She's so into their relationship.
That is, on some levels, pretty awkward.
Give us some examples, Steve. What are you talking about?
I shouldn't say that.
Well, she looks up to him.
She does. I shouldn't say that. I think Courtney thinks more. She treats him like he's totally part of the family, and I keep telling her. I go, "That's
you're asking for it."
Just like when we were getting pictures at the pier in Florida, I'm like, you know what? How are we going to park out of these pictures?
Make sure he's on the end.
And I ain't no pussy. I say these things.
You do. What does Courtney do to make Parker feel like he's part of the family?
She fucking buys food for him. Like in the fridge.
I was waiting for him to say, well, she changed the power of attorney. He's in the will.
No. I fucking open the fridge and take out a frozen pizza. That's for Parker. He likes those ones. I'm like, bullshit.
It's in my fridge with my fucking money.
Yeah. I mean, I like the kid as much as the next guy. He's a good kid. All right? I like him. But, damn. It's my castle.
Sounds like it's Porker's.
Well, fucking, she'll make a casserole of 'em and shit, and I'll be like, this is some good shit, and I'll be like, gonna tear and putting some food away, and she'll be like, make sure you leave this in case Parker wants some. He's coming later, and he'll might warm it up. I'll be like, fuck him. I'm like, you're putting so much effort and time. I mean, we just took him to freaking Florida with us. You know how much extra money that cost us? That's an investment.
Yeah.
And he could walk away tomorrow. Or Katie could get sick of him.
With another girl.
Yeah. Yeah, he could find another family that's going to a better place next year and fucking go with them.
Sorry, Hawaii.
Now, at least he's been around for a while, you know, at this point. So at least it's not like, you know, they've been dating for a month and my wife wants to take him to Florida. You know, he's been around for... They're one of these weird couples. I used to hate these kids, too. They fucking start dating in like 8th grade or some shit, and then they fucking just stay together. I'm like, come on, spread your wings. Check it out. Kiss a different... I'm always telling them, kiss another girl, Parker. You've probably not kissed another girl. Katie, you could do better. I don't know if he could do better.
I was like, what the fuck? I can drive. I can. Look at these. Look at these tits, Travis. Look at these tits.
You drew some beautiful
tits. Look at these
tits.
naked ladies. Can you believe I didn't get into college with this shit? Fuck, I'm just going to go drive a truck.
You drew some of the best vaginas I've ever seen.
Well, I've seen a lot of vaginas.
I think we need to talk about this. So early on in my relationship with Bill,
as you lie down in bed with him.
At Joe Con.
No. He showed these pictures
Remember
in the
when I
back
gave
seat
you all
of
those little pieces of G.I. Joe parts?
You were in the back seat of Travis's car. We were riding somewhere, and you brought your portfolio.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you remember, Trav?
Yeah, I remember you two lying on a bed together.
Maybe we did lie on a bed together and look at vaginas that you built.
Well, let's face it. All of us have done a lot of lying on beds together.
So, early in a relationship with Bill, because early on in the early days of my early days with My Wife's Gonna Kill Me, before the podcast, Bill was at almost every show with Travis, and I was at most shows with Travis for a good couple years, and I said, "Fuck this shit." But we did a lot of
Couldn't
shows.
Keep up with me.
We did a lot of shows. Bill would set up the booth. I'd do all the selling because I'm a people person.
Clearly.
And Travis would walk around. And that's kind of how it went.
It's actually amazing he got as big as he did, as much as he walked around.
Yeah, even though when I sold shit that he just bought for himself.
Yeah.
He'd buy something for himself. He'd come back to Taylor. He'd be like, "Where's that Venom about?" I sold it.
It was a contest between you and Dave Hunt. Who could sell the most stuff that Travis just bought?
I'm a selling machine. And anyway, I sold it for the exact same amount that he bought it. For it was awesome.
So technically,
because it still had the price tag on from the other book.
Yes, technically not a loss.
Not a loss.
Fernetta set me up. Anyways, so me and Bill, we're getting kind of close here, and the three of us. And Bill was talking about how good of an artist he is, so he brings his portfolio, and we got to look at some of his artwork that he did. I don't know, when you're in your 20s, in your teens.
Oh my God, back in 1992. So yeah, a long fucking time ago.
Okay, and to sum this story up, it was a lot of vaginas. And I liked looking at them. Pretty good.
I got some pretty good shading, didn't I?
I mean, whatever you were looking at for reference seemed anatomically right. I especially love the one with a woman that was, she had no head. It was two women and they're joined at the shoulders. So like it's one piece.
Isn't that impressionism shit?
No, it's fucking psycho serial killer shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They have no head, and they're like Siamese twins with no head, and then all they just have is two torsos with two vaginas. So this woman can't talk to you.
It's modern art. Yes, you got it right there. Look at all the good parts and no fucking talking.
Bill was a big fan of Clive Barker.
So that's when I knew Bill was a true artist.
Somehow I didn't make it to that page. I think I might have just been stuck on the first one that was just like a full-size vagina.
Travis just took that page and stared at that one. He's like, I don't need to see any more. I mean, why look at anything else?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently I was obsessed with creation.
I don't even think she had arms. Doesn't have arms?
What good are arms?
I don't know.
Hand jobs are okay.
Well, you need hands on arms. You just don't need arms. So arms are useless.
Oh, boy.
Cobra Commander was a bitch, dude.
I like
Great character.
Cobra Commander depends on what you're talking about.
Cartoon was awful, though.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
the cartoon was geared towards kids and had blue and red lasers. So if that's your only basis. But
True.
Cobra Commander killed his own son. So, yeah.
I think about it sometimes.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you should identify a little better with him.
I probably should.
You could mix in a little Matt Rodriguez with pyramid schemes and selling used cars. You know?
God, I hope one of my daughters has a boy. I can begin his training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll pull the old Kylo Ren, Darth Vader routine. I want to be like you. I'll finish what you started.
I gotta have somebody to pass on.
Yeah, your grandson will just look like a wrinkled up, half burned, dirty shit stained DPW jacket. And be like, I'll be like you, Grandpa.
No. He's gonna be.
You have a hard hat or something?
He's gonna be the greatest podcaster that ever lived. My kids trap me sometimes because of TikTok. They'll hear some crazy shit on TikTok and they'll know, yeah, I'm gonna get Dad
round up.
I'm gonna get him wound up. So Claire will call to me and she'll be like, Dad, you gotta watch this. And I heard this fucking kid, probably a 16-year-old girl, talking about what she thought of the Will Smith slap. And she was like, there were 3 assaults that day. One was Chris Rock's assault on women.
Oh, God.
Because if we don't know, women and especially black women are the butts of all the jokes. So Chris Rock assaulted the women. And then there was the assault of the crowd for laughing at the joke. That also was assaulting Jada Pinkett. And then there was the physical assault of Will Smith. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And and my kids they show me that shit and they're giggling.
Yeah.
And I start freaking shadow boxing and getting crazy. And then I'm like, my fucking kids got me again. Don't show me that shit. 3 assaults. There was like 1 assault. Assault on my intelligence.
Look right at Claire. Hey, Claire. Well played. Go clean the kitchen.
Courtney bitches about the minivan that we have.
Yeah.
It's got 160,000 miles on it. The seats up in the front don't adjust anymore. They can adjust if I switch the fuse in the fuse box and adjust it, but the fuse box will pop.
So you get to do it once.
Yeah. So they're in a position where they're good. They're comfortable for
You're
us,
happy.
Yep. And because I've tried to fix it, the panel on the side of the seat,
a bigger fuse doesn't work. So if it's a 10 amp fuse, put a 15 amp so it doesn't pop.
It's already a 30 amp fuse.
Oh,
I don't know. Anyways, so the panel, because I've tried to take the panel off to try to replace the switches.
Yep.
The plastic's busted now, and so that panel is just kind of sitting there.
Is anybody shocked that when Steve with those hands takes the panel off, he breaks the panel?
I'm actually surprised there's a seat still in the vehicle.
I was trying to get it undone, and it wouldn't come, and I just got mad and just ripped it off.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Snap the clip on the bra, pull the seat right out the fucking door. Just sit on the floor.
And the seatbelt goes through it.
Works for Arnold. You can do it too.
So I can't just take the panel and throw it away.
Because it's got to hang because the seatbelt
goes through this panel. Now I could cut the panel and get the seatbelt out of it.
Yep. Just cut the seatbelt.
Or I could try to remove the seatbelt, but the bolt, I can't get a fucking thing on it because I have to move the seat.
Yeah.
Because I can't get my wrench on it to take the seatbelt off.
It's a vicious cycle.
It sounds like a Sawzall problem.
It does.
Yep.
So this panel, which you barely ever notice,
Courtney wants a new Jeep or a new van.
And it irritates Corey. That van is a shit pile because of that panel. It's sitting there and floating around.
That one thing drives her crazy.
Drives her fucking bananas.
My dad would never have a vehicle like this.
She never says that, but they never did. They rarely ever kept. They still rarely keep a vehicle past 100,000 miles.
Yeah.
Okay. She says now she's onto this thing where she walked by the van where the engine was running and she heard it ticking.
Yeah.
It's probably a belt. It's probably a pulley. It's something in there. It's not anything big.
Yeah.
Old engines make noises.
It's a 10-year-old car plus.
It only ticks for a little bit and it'd be done. If it's that tick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be exhaust.
Yeah, it could be all kinds of things.
It could be a little bit of an exhaust leak.
Yep.
Well, she focuses on it. She's like, we gotta get that tip thing. Something's wrong with the van. I'm like, nothing's wrong with the van. I've had a lot of old vehicles. My parents always had old fucking vehicles.
Yeah.
I know what it sounds like when shit's going to blow up. I just went and she never gets the oil changed in it. Okay? She'll tell me, I'll be like, hey, get your oil changed in this thing? No, it's only 10,000 miles over. So I took it in before this trip to get a 10,000 mile over oil change. They're like, yeah, dude, you're only down like a half a quart. The thing isn't even freaking using oil.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know?
Yep.
And so we took that on the trip.
Yeah.
We just drove it 3,000 miles down to Florida, Clearwater, Florida, and back.
Yep.
Ticking. You only hear it when it's idling. And you know, you don't hear it from when you're driving. Everything, all this shit.
You turn the music up.
Yeah, I pull in and I pull in our driveway and I look at her and I go, how shitty is our van now?
Ding, ding, ring the bell before we get in a fight.
And I really did say it too. And
I'm proud of you, Steve. I mean, I don't know how wise that was, but
When you get a new van.
huh?
When you get a new van.
That was not even paid off yet.
When's Cody getting a new husband?
It's not even paid off. It's a nice van.
Is it the one that Matt got you?
Yeah.
You should take it back to him. Tell him it's ticking.
And you don't have any floor mats.
He got me some floor mats from an Acura.
Nice.
Fucking dead, too.
So it's cross-branded. Nice.
Anyways, I just think it's funny. So the point is I grew up with shit cars. My parents never to this day have had a brand new car. Ever that I know of. My parents never to this day.
I just bought my wife a BMW. I might be out of touch.
You're upper echelon now. So, here's another story too. I went to Kokomo yesterday.
The majority of the time I go to Kokomo's, which, if you're not aware, Kokomo's toy store in Indiana. It's the best toy store I've ever been in.
I was like bitching on the ride home about stopping. My daughters would be like, "Hey, let me after," and I'd be like, "We just went to the bathroom 4 hours ago," and I was just freaking pissed, and I was like, "Can we stop this? Can we stop at Subway?" Oh, you want to stop at Subway? Subway takes too fucking long. We're gonna go to McDonald's, and here's your choices: a McChicken or a McDouble. All right? We're not paying high prices for combos. We don't need any of that bullshit. You got water in the back, no pop. Right?
Right.
So I'm just being a dick.
Yep.
And seriously, Claire's like, I want Subway. We're not going to Subway. We're not going to Subway. Courtney's like, well, let me just look where the nearest Subway is. Oh. She goes, well, the nearest Subway is in Kokomo. I go, oh. The nearest Subway is in Kokomo, Indiana?
I never go to the Subway.
I'm like,
You know what? I love you, honey.
maybe we can go to Subway. Maybe I'll just stop at Kokomo Toys for a minute. And everybody's like, you thought we didn't have time to stop. And I'm like, look. This van's old. It's a piece of shit. We might need to just give it a rest. Just, let it cool down. Let it come back to temperature. In the interest of getting home safely, I think we need to go get some Subway. You guys can eat your Subway while I'm inside the toy store.
You're such a
pictures.
great dad.
I'm a fucking best.
You are.
You're not absentee like me.
Absentee dad. Jeez. Yep.